Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for the Scrap Room, and I am creating with Shimelle's Never Grow Up collection, which is part of the March Flavor of the Month kit, and this is the layout that I created. It's a bit of a grid, but I'll call it a grid gone wrong. So I was inspired by one of the pattern papers that had a whole bunch of rectangles and squares with little critters in them, which I've already cut apart bits and pieces of that. I'll show you. So that piece of pattern paper there, and I've cut a bunch of them apart. So my intent was to use these pictures of our household pets, and then I wanted to put those little pieces kind of like a puzzle and scatter them throughout the page and kind of fill the page with that. But what you'll see as I do the Suzanna shuffle here is I have 4 pictures. They're each of them 3 by 4, and the page ends up becoming very full. And despite the fact that I whittled down one of the pictures, it's busy and there isn't a lot of white space. And when I design, I like white space. And so I am going to shuffle things around a little bit, and I am not going to actually end up using as many of those, I'll just call them tile pieces, as I thought I was going to. And actually, I honestly use very little of the pattern paper that comes with this collection. So I'm going to use the pattern paper that cuts up those tile pieces. Most of the rest of this layout is actually embellishments. I am going to use, so that yellow and that vermilion, sort of orangey red color that are right there, I use those to punch out paper tabs, one in each color, and that is it for patterned paper on this layout. I could have done a strip running down the center behind the photos. I could have probably backed the photos, but there's so much color in the collection and the embellishments that I really didn't feel that I needed to use any more pattern paper, and I will have plenty of pattern paper for another layout. So what inspired me about those tiles is that Mia, my daughter, has this weird pet obsession. You know, most kids want a cat or a dog. Mia has a frog and a hermit crab. I know plenty of kids who have hermit crabs, but there's just a weird, she collects pets. And then obviously there's the cat. And so when I saw that tiled paper, it just made me think of the children who go out into your backyard and they collect the tadpoles and not night lights. What are the ladybugs and the ones in the summer that light up, their tails light up, lightning bugs. So it made me think of how kids go out and collect things and how my daughter has collected pets. So you can see this goes very up and down. And I felt like I had a lot of trapped space between that top right corner and the frog aquarium or terrarium at the bottom right there. And I could have put some of those tiles down the left-hand side, but it just felt weird. And so it didn't work. And so I'm going to rearrange it. There's also something about that reddy purple speech bubble that comes out of Belle that the bird is sitting on, that just, it stands out like a sore thumb, and I couldn't integrate it into that left hand side of the page there. And so for those reasons, I am going to shift everything around. This is where we go. I also didn't like the way that the photos were stacked one on top of the other, and I wanted to create a little bit more of a visual triangle with the photos, which is what I am about to do here. And so there is that trio of photos, but now I have that trapped space between the frog and the hermit crab on the right hand side. And so I'm going to find an embellishment to fill that in, and that trapped white space will no longer be there. There you go. With that wooden sign there, there's still a little bit of trapped space, but I'll actually end up moving the aquarium terrarium down. And now you can see how I can incorporate those tiles, those pictured tiles in, and it flows much better from the top left kind of in a diagonal down to the bottom right of the page there. So that makes me much happier. It took a little bit of shuffling to get there, but I knew eventually I was going to find something that was going to work for me. So I am quickly committed to that, and so I'm just going to start sticking things down. Now I want to make these tiles stand out a little bit, so I have my scoring pen, and I'm just going to score the outer edges and ruffle them up a little bit, and then in a second you'll see me grab my souffle pens, and I'm going to find a tone on tone, slightly darker color to just outline the outer border there, and so you can see just it adds a little bit of dimension to the page, and I like the way that that dimension works with the puffy sticker that says look. So when you get the Scrap Room kits, it's a nice little taste, the flavor of the month, so you get a flavor of the collection. So when you get the kit, you will get 2 pieces of cardstock, you will get 3 pattern papers, and then you will get an embellishment of some sort, or a collection of embellishments. I also receive the pattern paper add-ons, so you will always get 2 of each of the 4 flavor of the month collections. So I have 2 additional sheets of Never Grow Up, and then I also have added to this the March embellishment kit, and you get again some added embellishments from each of those 4 flavors. So a lot of these embellishments are a combination of both the add-on kit as well as the Scrap Room Flavor of the Month kit. I really like this kit collection because, again, it gives me a flavor. I really do not need all 12 pieces of paper that come in a collection. And I really like how Rochelle really matches things up. So you don't just get 3 random papers, you get 3 papers that work nicely together, which is really nice. And it's nice that you may get the same kit as your neighbor, but she will get different embellishments than you will. And that's kind of cool how Rochelle divvies up the embellishments as well. So all of this is from the kit. The only things that I have added are going to be the letter stickers that I'm going to use at the end to complete the title. Oftentimes there are no letter stickers that come with these kits, and that's the nice thing is you can use what you want. You can use your silhouette or your Cricut to create titles, or you can use the words like this says look, and that is actually the title, and then Still Alive is sort of more of the subtitle of this layout. So just to show how you don't need a ton of pattern paper really to make a layout work is kind of the theme of this. So adding to the layers and the texture in this, I am going to pop up this snail and put him on top of the corner of the hermit crab photo. I love the colors. There are many colors in the photo, and so the many colors in all of these embellishments really kind of supplement that, and the grid with those tiles just ties everything together to provide some unity to that chaos of color per se. I am going to journal in that speech bubble there. That is vellum worms, which I thought was perfect for the birds to be sitting on top of. And so that is why I put the placement of that there. And you can see how that kind of softens that red there. So there's the look. It's going to overlap the photo a little bit. Also with the embellishments this month is a roll of washi. Mine happens to be the flowers, which is perfect, and so I'm going to put that underneath look. You'll see that coming up in a second, and then I'm going to put the subtitle underneath that. I thought maybe I'd put that fish in there for the Papa Red, but he looks a little funny with the frog. And while that would normally be a fish bowl, I have turned it into a frog tank because that's what the frog, he's an amphibious frog. And so there he is. So this finishing up the title there. So that is my flavor of the month layout for the month of March. If you have any questions about the kits or the layout process, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. And if you are a new subscriber and put my name in the comment section, Rochelle will send you a little extra something. Again, there's great value for money with these kits. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them in the box down below. And what I can't answer, I will definitely defer off to Rochelle for you. I hope you are doing well. Thanks for stopping in today. Enjoy the close-ups that are coming up. Take care.